because of my lived experience as an Afro-Latina, I'm able to look at this world with a different prism, and I'm able to tell this country and tell this audience and tell my fellow co-hosts some uncomfortable truths.
Okay, everybody, listen up. Because Queen Race Baiter Sunny Hostin is about to tell us how racist our country is. Let's get into it.
That's great. I think that's very aspirational, and that's wonderful. But, you know, because of my lived experience as an Afro-Latina, I'm able to look at this world with a different prism, and I'm able to tell this country and tell this audience and tell my fellow co-hosts some uncomfortable truths. This is a country based on racism and slavery, and founded in it. There is systemic racism
and misogyny.
And there are people that I've never met anyone that raises their hand and says, I am racist. However, there are people that seem to be able to look the other way when it comes to racism.
Right. And from Sunny's quote-unquote lived experience, she knows all about slavery and looking the other way.
To know this information, I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living, on the backs of others.
So you have a president who traffics in misogyny, who traffics in xenophobia, who traffics in sexism.
And won.
And he won. And won against a Black woman.
Hold on for a second. Because according to Google, a misogynist is a person who dislikes, despises, or is strongly prejudiced against women. So let's just go ahead and debunk the myth that Trump is somehow misogynistic. We'll start with Susie Wiles, Trump's chief of staff, and not to mention the first woman to ever hold that position. Tulsi Gabbard, Trump's director of national intelligence, and the second woman ever confirmed by Senate to hold that position. Kristi Noem, the second woman to hold her position. Pam Bondi, she's only the third woman to hold the position as Attorney General of the United States, and she was elected by, you guessed it, the misogynistic orange bad man. Oh yeah, and his Secretary of Labor, Secretary of Education, Secretary of Agriculture, and the administrator of the Small Business Administration at cabinet level are all women. But wait, because Sunny's about to tell us what it's really about.
So don't tell me that this country is ready for a Black woman. Don't tell me this country is ready for a woman.
Also, let's face it, Hillary Clinton was one of the most qualified people.
But she was qualified.
Can I finish this sentence? Let me finish my sentence.
Well, I got interrupted.
She's qualified.
I really don't understand why Alyssa just lets those women talk to her the way they do. But let's see what Joy has to say, since it's so important.
She's more qualified than any man she's run against, in my opinion.
Correct.
And she lost to a reality talk show host.
Qualifications are not what decide the presidency. Right now should tell us that.
That's right.
There's a lot of factors that do. And she had years of... She was dragged down by her husband's baggage.
The Clinton
and the
part.
country
There's a
wanted
reason
an
why this
outsider.
country has only had one Black male president. There's a reason.
We will see another
for that.
Black man, and we'll see a female president in my lifetime. I will be back in hopefully 10 years to
Maybe
show
in your
you.
baby's lifetime.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. Sunny could care less about whatever point Joy was trying to make about Hillary, because it wasn't really about a woman being elected president for her as much as it was about a Black woman being elected president, if that's what they're claiming Kamala to be. And since we're on this topic, America obviously isn't ready for a woman president, according to Michelle Obama.
Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim and we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all. It is exhausting and it's so expensive and it takes up so much time. Braids are for y'all so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act, an act of law to tell white folks to get out of our hair? Don't tell me how to wear my hair. Don't wonder about it. Don't touch it. Just don't.
Oh wait, that's not the clip. That's just Michelle Obama race baiting and, according to her, culture appropriating. This is what she had to say about America and a female presidency.
Do you think that that impacts the room that we've made for a woman to be president?
Well, as we saw in this past election, sadly, we ain't ready. That's why I'm like, don't even look at me about running, because you all are lying. You're not ready for a woman. You are not. So don't waste my time.
Yeah, so are you disappointed that Michelle Obama isn't interested in running for president? I'm not. Anyway, I personally think this is all a bunch of baloney, and I feel like these identity politics are getting so played out. They try to make it seem like America is so racist and sexist and evil and hopeless, but they have millions of dollars and are free to leave this hellhole anytime. But please, let's be honest, they wouldn't dare. They know America is the greatest country on earth and the only country in the world where they can get away with what they're doing. America is the only country in the world where you can get paid millions of dollars to hate your nation. Now, as a white woman, I can't imagine how hard life must be for a former First Lady, or, in Sunny's words, an Afro-Latina who makes millions of dollars spreading hate and division wrapped up in these quote-unquote lived experiences. Which brings me back to the comment Sunny made in the beginning of the video.
Because of my lived experience as an Afro-Latina, I'm able to look at this world with a different prism, and I'm able to tell this country and tell this audience and tell my fellow co-hosts some uncomfortable truths.
Does not every single person look at the world through their own unique lived experience? A lived experience is just that, an experience. And a my truth is not the same as the truth. And maybe the uncomfortable truth Sunny should hear is that America lived 4 years with Kamala as vice president. We saw the destruction. And maybe Sunny needs a reminder that it was her who put the nail in the coffin.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact. You asked me what's the difference between Joe Biden and me. I'm going to have a Republican in my cabinet because I don't feel burdened by letting pride get in the way of a good idea.
So yeah, that probably played a part in why America didn't pick a black woman as president. It had nothing to do with her ethnicity, but everything to do with her policy, which was what exactly? I still don't know. Did she ever even answer that question?
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
There are those who are unable to see what can be, but there are many more who are able to see what can be unburdened by what has been.
Sunny can cry all she wants about how Trump winning the election over Kamala proves that America is so-called racist and sexist. But I've never heard of a misogynist select a woman to not only run his campaign, but turn around and name her chief of staff after winning. Not to mention all the other women with high-profile titles in his cabinet. But I also know facts don't really matter to Sunny, especially when they're inconvenient. It's all about pushing the narrative and making everything about race. I feel like Sunny is probably one of the most vile racist shrills I've ever seen, next to Michelle Obama.